Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unit 1. In each unit, we're going to model what we recommend as best practice. We're going to build clear objectives. We're going to think about how best to deliver content, and then we're going to engage students in learning and use authentic assessments. In each unit, you'll watch a short video lecture, read some excellent readings, discuss the major themes with other learners, and then do some work. In this video, we're going to explain the essence of what it means to be learner-centered. Our objectives for Unit 1 are to explain the importance of assessment in learning design and then identify why examples of authentic and alternative assessments are learner-centered. We use the word learner-centered quite a bit, but what does it actually mean to be learner-centered? I traced the phrase learner-centered back to this 1995 article where Barentag talked about a shift from the instruction paradigm to the learning paradigm. The shift from a teaching-centered paradigm to a learning paradigm places the learning experience at the center of the instructional process. The role of faculty changes from a lecturer who primarily delivers content to a designer of powerful learning experiences. As Barentag wrote in 1995, the fairly passive lecture where faculty talk and most students listen is contrary to almost every principle of optimal settings for student learning. This isn't to badmouth the lecture, but it is to shine a light on the other things that a faculty member needs to do to create an environment that's conducive for learning. Lecturing becomes one of the many possible methods, all of which are evaluated on the basis of their ability to promote appropriate learning. Being learner-centered suggests that the lecture isn't the only or the best form of knowledge transfer. What we promote in its place is whatever teaching approaches serve best to prompt learning of a particular subject with particular students by engaging them in knowledge construction. The word engagement is critical to understanding what it means to be learner-centered. The learning cycle is comprised of content, learning outcomes, teaching and learning strategies, and assessment. Whenever one of these is missing, the learning cycle is in jeopardy. Content is essential, but content cannot crowd out the other aspects of the learning cycle without negatively impacting learning. What teaching and learning activities will best support the learning outcomes? What teaching and learning strategies can elicit student discovery and the construction of knowledge? One of those teaching and learning strategies might be assessment, if we assess students in authentic and engaging ways. Accounting for all the elements of the learning cycle takes thoughtful and intentional design. And it might be helpful to revisit Michael Moore's 3 types of interaction as we think about what it means to be learner-centered. Being learner-centered means creating powerful learning experiences where students construct knowledge, often collaboratively. The first form of interaction is learner-content interaction. Learner-content interaction takes place in this course in the form of lectures and readings. Moore says, this is a defining characteristic of education. Without it, there cannot be education, since education is a process of intellectually interacting with content that results in changes in the learner's understanding, the learner's perspective, and the cognitive structures of the learner's mind. Instructional content is closely associated with learner activity, since there has to be some interaction between learner and content for information to be learned. Therefore, there's always some activity associated with a resource: reading, watching, taking notes, revising, creating. The second type of highly desirable interaction is interaction between the learner and the instructor, the expert. Instructors don't just provide content, they provide counsel, support, and encouragement, but they also design the learning environment. Engaging learners with content-oriented activities, assessment of learning, and the interesting and relevant exchange of ideas is all part of teacher-learner interaction. In this course, we have an outstanding team of TAs to respond to your discussions and evaluate your learning journals to make sure you're applying the learning correctly and to answer any questions you may have. The third type of interaction is learner-learner. Peer assessment or peer instruction can increase student interactions with content, with the instructor, and with other learners. Online discussions are also key activities that encourage learner-learner interactions. To be learner-centered is to focus on creating powerful learning environments, and a significant part of this shift is rethinking assessment from something that happens at the end of the course in a high-stakes final exam to something that happens throughout the course in a more public way. And this is the focus of this course. Thank you.